You told me the other day you make like 100 million in revenue. What are you doing with this money?
Continue to build products. So constantly trying to find good people who share the passion and really want to build awesome stuff. And those people are not cheap.
We are very far from achieving our goal of every retail person on the street can use Meteora to make an extra $500 a day in passive income.
How much money did you do on the Trump launch?
20, 30 million.
Zen and Soju are the co-leads of Meteora, a DeFi team pioneering the tokenized future
For over 5 years, they've been building tools that empower users.
and shape on-chain finance.
Can you explain Meteora to your mom?
So Meteora is the AMM of Solana. We are the most innovative, most dynamic liquidity layer of Solana. We are a team that truly pushes Solana to its maximum and leverages the technology to bring a very powerful experience to our partners and our users.
Is there still a future for meme coin and celebrity coins?
I think the celebrity coin thing would not die out yet. It's a cultural thing, right? People will still be drawn to that. But then I think most of our attention will be more on all the ICM stuff that can really bring crypto more mainstream. Right?
You guys are powering internet capital markets. What does that mean?
Anybody with internet connection should be able to tap into the capital markets of the world. To tap into Wall Street, you need to be there, you need to sign lots and lots of papers, and then by the time you get your $10, you've already lost $5 to fees. So internet capital markets is our way of revolutionizing that with a simple internet connection.
Meteora is launching a token very soon.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Why such a high percentage of supply out there directly without any vesting?
You want to go?
Yeah, I'll try first.
Try.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. This is the little bit that I know none of you like that can help us make a huge difference for this show, and we want to take it next. 71% of the people who regularly watch When Shift Happens have not subscribed. And so all I'd ask you, if you want to make a huge difference, is the following. If you've seen this show before and you like it, help me, help my team, hit the subscribe button, and we'll continue to build this show for you. Thank you.
Yeah, very, very inclusive. I love it. I love it.
We're very inclusive. One problem what we have on this podcast is about inclusivity. We have too many men, there's not enough women.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but we include some animals. We're trying to get on our way there. But
You can get Dionys on the call or something like that. Dionys is one of our team members. And she's
We have
awesome.
a lot of girls.
Yeah, we have a lot of girls in our team.
how many percentage of total?
10%.
Is it
How many
10%?
people? How many people in Meteora?
Meteora is 20.
20.
Oh, it's pretty. It's very small.
Still
Wow.
very small. Just very small.
Serious
Wow.
one, not Jupiter.
Hey, when we started, we only had like 5.
So 20 people, 10 girls.
No, Jupiter.
10%. You said so. Basically,
We meant Jupiter
Oh,
and Meteora.
raccoons.
10%.
Yeah, 10% of raccoons is
How many people in Jupiter? 100.
lost count.
130.
Probably. Yeah.
130.
Okay, so overall 150 altogether.
Close to that.
Yeah, around
probably.
there. Yeah.
Wow.
No one keeps track anymore.
Yeah, no one can check. No one can check.
No.
No one keeps track.
Ah,
No one knows
crazy.
the exact number at any
too crazy.
time.
Do you know what other people do?
Oh, you mean
You say if you don't keep track of people, how do you keep track of what people do?
You don't.
You just trust. You're like, hey, join, and I hope like you're gonna do your job properly.
the funny story is I went to KL office. I went in. I thought I went to the wrong office. I have no idea who these people are, right? Because they're so aggressive in hiring new guys, new teams. Yeah, so I have no idea.
The office with the, I think there's like a gym or something.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
there.
you're there. Yeah.
Yeah. I went there to meet the team, like maybe last year or earlier this year. I don't remember. I keep track. You keep track of you can't keep track of people. I can't keep track of time. Like literally, I don't know what month, what week, what year. I don't know. It's life. I
time
guess the same
moves.
for you.
Time is hard for us, yeah.
How you guys doing? One day before TG.
Pump, bullish. That's one thing I learned from this guy. The one word that trumps everything is the word bullish. Bullish, just be bullish about everything.
Are you someone who is more of kind of a pessimistic person, or?
I tend to worry a bit more.
Okay.
I don't think I am a pessimist, but I worry a bit more. This guy is more of the let's go. Let's
It's
do
more
it.
of he's a boomer and not that he's pessimist.
Yeah, I'm not. And yes, it's the blame my generation.
It's,
yes,
it's the age, not
It's
the,
age,
not
it's
the
the age.
optimism.
It's the age.
Not
it's
the
the
death
age.
of optimism.
Tell me about you both.
Let's
You want to start?
You start.
Me. My name is Zen.
Mm.
Right. So I was with Mercuria since day one.
Meteora, which is
Meteora, which is the very first crypto project that is the genesis of before Jupiter and Meteora came about. Yeah, so that was 5 years ago.
So you're an OG Jupiterian.
One of the
One of the
OG team, in
co-founders.
the OG team, yeah, in the founding team, right? In the founding team. So started with Xiong and Miao. So they were very generous in inviting me to join the team at the start. Yeah, so that was how I got my. But when we started, they were like pretty experienced already. So I was like a baby, right? So I was very, very new to crypto 5 years ago. So I took it as an opportunity to really learn, right, and contribute. So yeah, that was my first foray into crypto. Meteora was my first.
What did you do before?
Wow.
That made them invite you to the team.
Wow. Okay. So before that, I did a bunch of startups. In fact, Mel and I went back quite a long way. So I knew him since school days. So I remember seeing this half-naked guy alone, aloof, out of in front of his dorm room, and then I just talked to him. And then we did maths tutorial together, and after we graduated, we did a bunch of stuff. Like we ran our first Web 2.0 conference together, started a couple of startups together. In fact, one of the startups, Xiong was involved as well. So we kind of know our working styles and everything, but we lost contact for a couple of years. So in 2021, when I reconnected with Mel, and then he said that he wanted to do crypto startup, and then he asked me whether I want to join or not. So I was like, sure, why not? Because I was really very curious about what crypto is about and I really want to learn. So I jumped at the opportunity. So that's how it all transpired.
You said you did a bunch of math tutorial together.
Yeah, math tutorial.
How good were you and him at math?
Oh, he was very good in school. He was like this is like the top, right? And I remember starting together with him in the dorm room, and he always get like A. I was like barely pass, right? So he was very good in maths, right? He's very good in studies, academic. Me not so much. So I venture in other areas that's not academic, right? Yeah, but that's him.
What's your strength? If math is not it.
Wow. I guess team building. I would say team building. Right?
More people person.
Yeah, more people. So because in school we have this hall, right? So like we will stay in dorms, right? And then in dorms there will be a lot of activities and whatnot. So I will spend most of my time there organizing activities, joining clubs, organizing sports events and all those things. So I guess I veer more to that area more than academics. Yeah.
And you? Where are you?
My name is Soju. So I've been in Solana DeFi pretty much my entire career. I joined Solana DeFi Solana at the time, straight out of the army. And that was 4 years ago. Then 2 years ago, I met Mel. And
when you say army, you mean the actual Singapore Army, National Service.
National Service. So I joined
not the Solana Army, like there's an ETFs Army.
Not the LP Army. Yeah, joined Solana in 2021 without a university degree. I remember calling Ruther, my old founder, when I was right about to sleep before my final mission in the army, and I was like, bro, I'm done tomorrow. You want to hire me? And then that's how I started in Solana DeFi. Then I met Mel 2 years ago in Korea. Then we clicked very well, and I really liked his energy. So I ended up joining Jupiter 2 years ago, right before TGE, right before Jupiter's TGE.
And then
it's been a whirlwind of shipping products, shipping the stuff. Mel brought me in and put me under his wing to lead Jupe's TGE. So I have first class, like first row view on what's going on into Jupiter's TGE. And then I was the main guy driving the DAO. I created ASR rewards with Mel. I launched the DAO staking program with the engineering team. Lots of like fun stuff and challenges. I think I spent most of my time at Jupiter like leveraging Meteora's technology to launch teams via the IoT platform. So when we needed some help on the Meteora side, I was a candidate along with Zen because I was familiar with the technology while Zen was familiar with the team and also the products, of course. Yeah.
Quick one. I want to thank our partners who help us make this show possible. I'd like to thank our friends at Jupiter, the most used decentralized trading platform on Solana and the largest DAO in the world. Thank you to our friends at Paradex. It's official Perps Dex season, and we've teamed up with Paradex, the leading perpetuals decentralized exchange with zero fees, deep liquidity, and privacy. Their season 2 runs through the end of January, so you do not want to miss that one. In addition, their flagship NFT collection drops in Q4 this year, and we're giving you a chance to get one. Supply is limited, so hurry up and use the link below to get on the waiting list. And last but not least, thank you to the awesome team at CustCard, my go-to card to spend my stablecoins directly with my Apple Pay to buy anything, food, coffee, hotel night, or plane tickets without having to use a bank ever again. So you said 4 years ago, you joined crypto without a degree, and just a few years later, you're leading Meteora. That's possible, right? How is that possible? Meteora, which is I think is $100 million a year protocol in terms of revenue, right?
Yeah, I think
it's just for me, for people to understand what's possible in crypto, right? You don't need all these academic degrees and all that stuff. Like if you actually come out of the army, actual army, without a degree, you can, within 3 years, 3 years and a half, lead a $100 million in revenue protocol.
Yeah, I think one thing I really love about crypto is that it's a sense of abundance of opportunity. It's like everybody in crypto is like, we are using PFPs of animals, we use pseudonymous names, like no one really cares who you are and where you came from, only like what work you can do or what value you can provide or how you can help your peers. So that's what really enticed me into crypto, and it's been a very crazy 5 years to get here. And I along my journey, I meet a lot of very amazing, capable people that is drawn to the same like opportunities. And I'm very proud and happy to like call them close friends and stuff today.
You said before you are different generation, boomer, Gen. What's the difference in age?
Wow, we're going there? Okay.
I think it's also important so people realize, look, like we have like different dynamic in the team, and we have a wise person and we have a crazy person, the yin and the yang.
Wow. Okay. I'm 44, right? So and this guy's
I'm 25, so it's like 19 years difference.
Wow.
Yeah. Any younger, he can be my son. That's what I always tell them.
Yeah, I'm the second youngest on the team. Yeah, I think second or third youngest.
I used to still be oldest. Yeah,
How young is the youngest?
I think 21. I think. Yeah, we have a designer who's 21 also.
How old is the oldest?
I used to be one of the oldest. But with the influx of new guys in, I'm not sure anymore. I think John.
You're definitely the oldest in Meteora.
I'm the oldest in Meteora, for sure. Yes.
The oldest and the wisest.
I wouldn't say that, but I'm still learning. Actually, I learn a lot from the young guys, right? For sure, right? So the energy, the bullish energy, the can-do thing, the can-do energy. But I worry a lot. Yeah, but I think we complement each other well, right? In that sense.
Yeah, I like to go to Zen with crazy ideas, and then he'll tell me that this tree is crazy, this fall is doable, go do it. And then I'm like, okay, let's go do it. And then we have a very good dynamic now. I think I'm very happy with Meteora's dynamic. Yeah.
I want to know a bit more about the history of Meteora, but first I want to know, for people who are not familiar with Meteora, I think there's many actually. Because people talk about Meteora, but I think a lot of people in crypto, definitely outside of crypto, no one would know. People in crypto would not really know what Meteora is. Can you explain Meteora to your mom?
You want to go? Yes.
Yeah, I'll try first.
You try.
Yeah. So Meteora is a AMM on Solana. We're all familiar with AMMs. You're all familiar with like bigger AMMs like Pump. But where Meteora really excels is that we are the most innovative, most dynamic liquidity layer of Solana. We are a team that truly pushes Solana to its maximum and leverages the technology to bring a very powerful experience to our partners and our users, who are known as the LP army, retail people who make money all day on Meteora. About $1 million a day in fees are generated across the LP army. And Meteora is a protocol that brings this value to the retail users on Solana.
You said we all know what an AMM is. I'm not so sure actually. Can you explain that simply? For someone who who owns some Bitcoin but doesn't really understand crypto kind of technology stack.
Yep. An AMM is what turns a chain like Ethereum and Solana to a chain that's full of functionality and trading. And its core purpose is to provide the ability to swap between any asset to any other asset on the chain. So if you want to go from Bitcoin to USDC or USDC to Sol or Sol to even the MET token, you'll probably interact with AMM somehow.
Can you explain in the technology stack what is where? Solana, AMM, Meteora, application. Can you explain that and maybe give I don't know if it's possible to give kind of a Web 2 or internet analogy on the stack to say, hey, look, this is how what you're using when you're using internet, this is how it works. And when you're using crypto, this is how it works. And this is where Meteora is.
To explain to a mother, right? Okay. Wow. Let me try. Like it's like in the real world, it's like a bank, right? Like a bank. So like the tokens are like your funds, right? So basically, people who want to earn more fees, right? It's like interest. So they can just deposit their tokens or their money, right, into this bank, and then they'll earn fees along those lines, right? And then imagine that in this bank, there is we accept different currencies, right? So you imagine like different tokens, like different currencies, like your Japanese yen, your Sing dollars, whatever. And then people who wants to do, I want to go Japan, I want to swap my Sing dollars to Japanese yen, right? So you will have to come to this place to do the swap. So in order for that to happen, you need to have enough of these funds in the bank, right? So imagine like the banks, like our AMM pools, right? So in order for there to be enough of these funds, because sometimes I go to the bank, they will say that I ran out of the yen, right, or something like that. So we need to first of all make sure there's enough of these funds or this currency in the banks, right? So we need to have to build incentive mechanisms, right? So when you deposit in, you will get rewards. And LP, like in this case, it's LP rewards or fees, right? So whenever someone trades from Singapore dollars to yen, right, there'll be some trading fees, right? And then the fees will go to the person who deposit the Sing dollars. And so that in a nutshell, that is how I will explain to my mom, right, of how this whole mechanism works. I mean, of course, there's a lot of intricacies about how do you actually create a very sustainable model that creates yield for these people deposits, and how do you attract people to actually trade on these different currencies, right?
If I put in context, so the bank is a good example. The broker at the bank, is that a Jupiter or is that a Meteora? And basically, what is Solana? Like where is what in the stack? If you take the bank example, so people really understand. Because I even for me, it was kind of hard to understand, okay, where is Meteora? What do they do? They're kind of like this kind of background team.
Yep.
So
you can imagine, sorry, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll try answering that. So when powering all the bands in the world, there's an invisible network of bands interlinked to each other. That is the Solana analogy. So Solana is what puts all of the bands onto one system where the bands can transact with each other seamlessly. The bank itself is probably Meteora, where like the bank will hold reserves of multiple different currencies. You go there with currency A, you can walk away with currency B. And the way you interact with the bank is either through a website, a broker, ATM. These are the application layers that are built on top of Meteora, which is like Jupiter, Axiom, and Photon. I think that's the best way of,
So there is only one Solana, there is a few banks, and there is many applications.
Correct.
Can you tell me, you started to mention before, can you tell me about the other few banks, basically Pump, Radium, what they do, and what's the difference in terms of maybe, I would say market share, but also maybe focus between Meteora, Radium, and Pump?
Yeah. I think there's three key bands on Solana, three key bands. There is one bank, which is the oldest and largest bank. You know that it doesn't go down. You know that it's reliable. That's probably Radium. They've been around the longest, and they have not taken big risks and big changes. They are the trustworthy and reliable one. There is Pump.
Swiss bank.
That is Swiss bank. There is Pump, which is like the innovative. There is Pump, which is like the one that caters to a very specific group of audience who happens to spend the most money and generates the most fees. but it's yet isolated from the rest of the banking system because they only appeal to a very small group of people. They just happen to pay the most fees all the time. And then Meteora, in this sense, is like a neobank. We are the most technologically advanced. We are the smallest. We are a startup. We are trying to do things differently. We're trying to bring like much better savings or much better returns to our users. And because of this, we are the one that is fastest growing, and we are also the smaller one in town.
Okay, much clearer. Can you tell me about the Meteora history and how you got to become an AMM or a bank in crypto? Because you are one of, you said you are original founding team.
Yep. So when we started Meteora, I mean, the funny thing was that the first white paper that we created was actually to create a dynamic vault. Dynamic vault is basically or dynamic AMM, right? So basically, whoever like a dynamic bank, right? So whoever who deposits liquidity or money into it, this money will be distributed to other lending protocols, right? So lending protocols, if you put it there, because if you just leave it in the bank, you don't, that's nothing there, right? So it will actually be pushed to lending protocols to earn yield from lending money, right? And then that yield will be trickled down to the person who deposit the funds, right? But at the point of time, it was too early. It was too early because I think the lending landscape wasn't mature enough. So we ended up building the focus on stable swap banks.
When you say too early, when was that? 2020?
2021. So I think it was not mature yet. So we focus on stable swaps because we believe that stable liquidity, like the USD, USDC, and also USDC, USDT, all this liquidity are actually extremely important for the growth of Solana, right? Because we need all these stable coins. And then I think at the time there's still a lot of potential to build there.
So the focus was on Solana from the get-go, right?
Yes, always.
And so you're saying, so my guess, but maybe you can correct me, is there is this DeFi craze in 2020 on Ethereum. And then there's a bunch of guys, you guys, who are like, okay, we need to help we need to bet on another ecosystem that is not huge yet, that we think is going to be big or has a good potential.
Yep.
And we need to help them build this infrastructure so that they can get to that level. That's why you choose Solana.
I think when Xiong and Mel and myself, we were looking at the chains, right? I mean, because we are builders at heart, right? I'm a very product focused person. So the first thing that we look at is that which chain gives us the most potential or flexibility to really build awesome, innovative products, flexible products. And at that point of time, Solana gave us that. Because the infrastructure, everything was, I mean, number one, is fast and it's cheap, right? So imagine Ethereum, right? The transaction fees are like crazy. Like sometimes it's more expensive to the transaction fee is more expensive than your transfer, right? So it gives us a lot of limitations in terms of what we can actually do, right? So we saw that that kind of performance as well as the low fees as the gateway for us to actually start to think out of the box and build a lot of innovative products. So that's why we decided on Solana. Yeah. And that was how it all started, right? So we pitched the idea. I mean, primarily, okay, I don't take credit, right? It's more Xiong and Mel at that point of time because I was very new. So I was doing a lot of background work, right? So credit to them to actually get the deal across, because initially when we did it was with FTX. Yeah, with FTX. So the deal was that they will support the launch of our MER token, the start, right? But of course, they believe in what we are trying to build. So that deal went through, and that was the start of the whole journey, right? Because the initial MER supporters will be supporting us, and then we were getting funds, right? And then that's where when the funds came in, things became real, and we managed to build a team, right, and start to really build a product. Yeah.
So FTX was an investor.
FTX was our launch partner. So we launched our MER token on FTX at the beginning. Yeah. And of course, at the point of time, if a project gets launched at FTX, it gets a lot of attention, right? And because it's very credible, right? So there's no lack of people who really want to support the project. And we managed to raise quite a bit of initial funds to actually help us to bootstrap team building as well as to build our very first product, which is the stable swap AMMs, which was our initial focus. Yep.
How did that do?
Well, it was, to be honest, it's pretty rough, right? Because at a point of time, there was a lot of competition in the space. There's a lot of taxes, like I think Sabre was one of them. And there was no clear sustainable revenue model at the point of time, because they were like all the protocols were just setting the trading fees to zero. Right. And then the only way to attract volume and users is by using the tokens as liquidity mining incentives. So every day I will be like discussing with Mel, okay, how much LM should we put in this pool? How much? Then it's a very arbitrary kind of thing. So we just say, okay, but it probably be slightly higher than them, right? That kind of stuff. So after a while, we find that, this is not sustainable and it's not fun. Right? I didn't sign up to do this, right? So every day is just fighting that game. So that was tough at the start. So we kind of hit the wall at a certain point of time with Meteora.
Quick one. I want to thank our partners who help us make this show possible. Thank you, Trezor, my favorite cold wallet to store my crypto and make sure I sleep well at night. If you want to order a Trezor wallet and sleep well at night too, you can use my promo code WSH10 to get a 10% discount. Big thank you to Bitwise Asset Management for backing today's conversation. Bitwise is a crypto specialist asset manager with more than $15 billion in client assets across 30 plus crypto solutions, including ETFs, index funds, alpha strategies, staking, and more. However you like to invest in crypto, Bitwise has something for you. Thank you to our friends at Sui for supporting this show. Sui is a scalable layer 1 blockchain that's fast, secure, and affordable, built by previous Facebook developers, and that delivers the benefits of Web3 with the ease of Web2. To support this show, please check the sponsor links in the description down below. Just a parenthesis here.
Yep.
I see something similar to this zero fee now with Paradex kind of war, where everyone is like, zero fees. How is that even sustainable or possible? I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm asking, right? I'm not trying to trick you into... What's the other business model that may enable these Paradexes to charge zero fees?
I think back when Meteora was first starting on Solana, there was not a lot of protocols on Solana. Yet the stable swap AMMs like Meteora serve as the gateway to Solana. So what you would do is that you will bridge in from any other chain, swap your bridge USDC to the real USDC, and then start using Solana. And this was because during the FTX era, there was a big hype around Solana. So lots and lots of retail capital and VC capital flow into like protocols like Meteora and Stable to sort of prop up the valuations and let this game keep going. And that's actually happening now in the Paradex era because of Hyper-Liquid success, drawing a lot of VC and capital to flow to the number 2, the number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's like so many capable and amazing people building the Paradex space. And lowering the fees is like the only thing that all of them can do. And they can all do it because they're all funded by tons and tons of money.
But what's the end game? Because at some point you need to make money.
Yep. Well,
you get all the use. I don't understand.
Yeah. That's like how Solana is making money now. Some of them will make it all the way to the end and then make a lot of money. And some will struggle to do so. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
put
a
it
good
nicely.
Question. Yeah.
Struggle to do so.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that we want to avoid, right?
Yeah.
So that's why at Meteora we were a little bit at the point of time we were trying to figure out what's next, right? Because we really don't want to continue to play that game. And because we were all builders at heart, and this is not what we want to do, right? Every day just worrying about whether we can attract more users. So that was that Meteora part, right? And so we had a plan, right? We had a plan. So we decided that so you remember what I mentioned about the initial pitch to FTX was actually dynamic vaults. So at that point of time, we revisited that idea. We thought, okay, maybe this is a great time to do that. Right? We have the lending space seems to have matured a bit more. It's good time, right? So we wanted to do Meteora V2. I can't remember what we call it, Meteora V2, right? So we want to push out this new suite of dynamic vaults product, dynamic AMM. And on top of that, I remember also spending a lot of time calling up all our MER initial supporters and say, hey, we have this grand plan. Let's suspend MER vesting for a year. That means, and then I talked to the entire team as well. So everybody got behind the plan to say, great, let's all suspend MER vesting for a year. So that means on top of having a very aggressive roadmap for new innovative product, there will be zero emissions for MER for a year. So that will actually give a very strong signal to the community that we are serious about revitalizing Meteora as a product and a platform. So we were really excited. Everybody was like, the partners were excited, the team was excited. And then when we want to pull the trigger, December 2022 happened, FTX happened, and the crash happened. And so this plan became unfeasible. So we were a little bit down. A little bit, just a little bit, because it's always light at the end of the tunnel. It's always. So we have two options, right? We could just let Meteora fade away, right, and just focus on our sister project, right? Putting our resources there. We have a successful projects that we can actually focus on, or we take this opportunity to reset, rebuild.
The sister project was Jupiter.
Yes.
Yes. But this was like a plan, or it was already starting?
I mean,
this was
part plan?
The plan that you had was actually saying, okay, now we're going to do a Jupiter thing, or what became Jupiter.
Oh, okay. Right? Want to talk about the Jupiter part? Okay,
we can talk about it. Don't worry.
Okay. So backtrack a bit. We backtrack a bit. So Jupiter wasn't planned. So it was one of those days where I was discussing with Mel about that was where we were a bit jaded about the whole space, about the whole LM game thing. So we decided one of the experiment we did was to create a first cross protocol aggregator swap. Right, so we integrated with the Serum pools on Meteora, just as an experiment, right? Because let's do something, just try out, right? And so people can swap from one token to another token across the different pools. Yeah. So it's the first aggregator, right?
It's quite funny because like in that period, there were so many new bands all day. Like every 2 or 3 weeks, a new band will form, and then it will be flush with money. They give away all the money and attract more deposits. So Jupiter, so they saw the opportunity and they were like, okay, there's so many bands. How does the user decide which band to go to or which band to lose based on like the characteristics? So they built Jupiter, which is like almost a network of tellers who know exactly where you can get the best rates, the best swap, and then help you abstract away all of these new bands from your eye and then just give you the best price. So it's a very unique, it was a good idea at the time,
But we were still contemplating whether to even do Jupiter actually. That's the funny thing. Right, because that time it existed as a feature on Meteora. But of course at the time we were a little bit stuck on the whole LM thing. So I remember I was in the ramen shop with Mel, and then we were thinking, we have two options, right? I mean, always two options, right? We continue to build this as a feature on Meteora, right? Or we spin it off as a complete sister protocol, right? So we have to contemplate on the pros and cons, because obviously now we have to split the team. Right, we have to dilute our attention because we are still going to continue Meteora. We're not going to shut it off completely, right? I can't remember how the conversation went, but in the end we just say, "Fuck it, let's do it." That kind of thing, right? So Jupiter was born in a ramen shop. Okay, for those who don't know, Jupiter was born in a ramen shop. Yeah, in 111 Somerset. I remember.
Why am I not surprised about that? Fuck it, let's do it in a ramen shop.
Fuck it.
Sounds like
that's how we make a lot of decisions.
That's how we make all decisions.
Even the TJ date. Even the TJ date was done that way. People thought that we spend months and months contemplating pros and cons with a whiteboard of no.
Is it good market timing? No. Ramen.
Ramen.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Fuck it, let's go. Oh yeah. That's it. Fuck it, let's go. Then we call people. Okay, let's do this.
Let's start trying.
Let's call people. Okay, let's do it. That's how we roll. I love it. Right? Well, no need board meetings or whatever. But anyway, so that was how Jupiter. Yeah. So Jupiter was born, right? And then, but
when is that exactly? Jupiter was born.
Wow, I can't remember when. I have to go back to
This is after FTX crash or
No,
before?
no, before.
This was September.
Before. Just
September
before.
maybe.
Probably.
I think around September
Like a month before.
2022. September 2022.
Yeah, like a month before.
2 to 3
FTX,
months,
or
yeah.
2 months
Yeah,
before.
but
Yeah.
definitely more than I think 3-4 months.
Yeah.
At least definitely not so
I
close.
saw
to
it from
FTX.
an outsider, so I was like, oh, this is very cool when I saw it. Then it took off very powerfully.
Yeah, because I remember having to spend quite a bit of time to design and then to come up with the first version of Jupiter Swap. So that took a while. So I remember it was quite far away from the whole FTX crash thing. But it was fun. It was fun coming up with a new, because routing is another different challenge. So we actually got someone who have a PhD to come on board to actually to think through how the routing can work. So like Gistra, algorithm kind of stuff, right? Things that I didn't pay attention in school. But we got someone with PhD to do it. So yeah, so that was the Jupiter part.
Just what's the approximate revenue of Jupiter per year
Now,
now?
Wow.
300 million a year.
So 300 million a year protocol was decided in a
ramen
ramen
shop
shop.
you put it that
Fuck
way.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So that was the genesis of
Love it.
Jupiter. Yeah, that was genesis of Jupiter. So, but obviously we continued, right? The 2 tracks, Meteora, and then
When you say obviously we were not gonna let Mercurial go down,
yeah.
is it ego? Is it pride? Is it we have investors, we can't let them down? What's the drive? If you say, we have this sister project that is starting to take off. I mean, obviously then there is whatever, the shit that happened with the FTX, but what's the mindset there? Because I think it's very important for people to understand who are the people behind Meteora, especially given what happened earlier this year, where there was a lot of bashing and people come up with this kind of assumption, but they're like, actually, no, these guys have been here for a long time. When it was hard, they just didn't let go. They tried to. So, what was the main motivation to continue and find a solution for this?
It was tough, right? It was tough that time. We did consider both paths, but ultimately, that for me, it was 2 things. Number one is I felt that it was the right thing to do to not throw the initial supporters under the bus whenever things don't go well. So I think that is the kind of perspective or mindset that follow us throughout our, like whether we do Jupiter, Meteora or whatever. So I think that was important, and that's why I appreciate our team as well. It's not easy, but I think that was the right thing to do. So number one. Number two, I really think there's still a lot of potential in the whole liquidity space, because liquidity to us is really like the foundation of crypto, right? And I do see a lot of potential in what Meteora has achieved, right? And the whole dynamic vaults thing was something that we still haven't really built and experiment with. So that was also something that pushed us, right, to say, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's take this opportunity to reset, to rebrand, and to relaunch Meteora as Meteora, right, with dynamic vaults, dynamic AMM. Of course, we have to redo a lot. I mean, we have to build community from scratch. We have to regain the trust of the people, and then we have to build the credibility again. So everything is there. And then, of course, there will be a lot of noise from the community about stuff and whatnot. So there are a lot of challenges to tackle.
Why do you relaunch under a new name instead of saying, we're going to pivot what we're doing, but we're still the same company or protocol? What's the logic or thought process?
Okay, so number one is because FTX, right? So Meteora, I mean, Meteora didn't do anything wrong or whatnot, but we cannot stop this. We cannot stop this negative association, right, with FTX. People will have this, you get money from them. Are you part of this whole thing, right? We are clean, right? Completely clean, right? But we saw this as an opportunity, because we also have the MER token, which is some sort of in the background kind of thing. So we saw this as an opportunity to do a clean reset, right? Clean reset, and then we also when we have this clean reset, we also have this opportunity to, let's say, launch a new token, right? And then use that as an opportunity or a way to actually make our initial MER supporters whole as well. So that's also another thing that we think if by resetting and relaunching a new platform, we have the option to do it. By the time, I'm not saying that we're confirmed going to do it, but then and rebranding also has sent a strong signal as well, right? So we're starting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're starting.
And you, most people in crypto, would have said, we cleaned this up. Sorry, guys, we invested early. Fuck you.
Correct. Fuck you. Right?
Fuck you. Like, we're just going to do our new thing and thanks.
Exactly.
But
Thanks.
you did this something differently.
Yeah, so correct. At the start, Genesis, we actually set up blog posts, whatever, to nail down to say that, okay, 20%, right, to our initial most supporters, right? And really, because honestly, without them, there's no Mercury, there's no Jupiter, there's no Meteora. There's no,
so 20% of what? Of Meteora, of Jupiter, of everything, of
Met supply.
Of Met.
Or Met supply.
Okay.
Or Met supply. So that was our promise. Yeah. And we were prepared to honor that as well, right? Regardless, right? Yeah, so that was our way of doing things and a mantra. And I don't believe that we will change, right, in that way. We always try to do what we feel is right by the community. Yeah. So that was the key.
That's something that is not heard enough in this industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also don't want to paint ourselves as like super like altruistic. We are like we are the best people around, right? But we try our best. We try our best to make sure that we don't fuck people over, and we try our best to show appreciation to people who help us along the way. Yeah, even now like LP Army, all these things, we really try our best. Really try our best to make sure that they are fairly rewarded, right, for their actions or their support. Yeah.
So fast forward 2 years, you guys are powering what the Solana folks talk all the time about, which is called internet capital markets. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think internet capital markets means to me is that anybody with an internet connection should be able to tap into the capital markets of the world. Right now, to tap into Wall Street, you need to be there, you need to sign lots and lots of papers, you need to go through like others regulatory or compliance, or even just paying like 3 different banks to help you like raise $10. And then by the time you get your $10, like you've already lost $5 to fees. So internet capital markets is our way of like revolutionizing that and bringing the power of that to as many people as possible around the whole world with a simple internet connection.
How important is Meteora to this whole internet capital market thesis for Solana?
Yeah.
How much of a monopoly or oligopoly, or how does it work? I want people to understand how big Meteora is in this greater vision of Solana, that's their main thing, right?
Yeah. I don't think we have a monopoly on the idea of ICM, but ICM on Solana we started for the first time when we and our partners Beef Launchpad launched. And we've been the core champions of ICM ever since. We have 4 or 5 different launchpads who do ICM in different ways. Beef lets you do ICM for the ideas, with other teams that let you do ICM with real world assets. We even started building out like supporting infrastructure. So today we also have an ICM run protocol that incubates future ICM giants. And we are a core player in ICM because we have the liquidity. Solana is a very strong technological stack to move money around, but it is our liquidity that powers that powers ICM itself. It's our liquidity that allows you to raise capital, earn trading fees, and move things forward. And there's a very strong synergistic partnership between us and Solana over on this.
Can you give me 1 or 2 examples of this partnership that we have? And what is, you say ICM for RWA. This doesn't mean anything to most people. Like, what does that mean concretely?
Okay, which means that what I mean by ICM for RWA is that you can pick any collateral asset, any real world collateral that you see. You can tokenize it on Solana. When the coin does well, you'll be given the money to purchase the asset. And then the coin will be a representation of the asset. So today you can do that for like a condominium in Cambodia, a watch, different like RWA assets like bonds and treasury bills and all that. All of these collaterals are available for purchase on Solana via these collateral coins.
So you can go and buy a piece of a condominium in Cambodia.
Yes.
Today.
Yes.
On
Meteora.
On Meteora or on a platform that is powered by Meteora?
you can buy it on the key. One of our key advantages is that a platform works with us to develop these coins, but then these coins then become purchasable or swappable on Phantom, Jupiter, Meteora, Axon, everywhere. You don't even need, most of the people who trade these coins don't even know exactly which team is building it and how it works, but you can easily access it and you can easily find out more. So we bring the power of Solana's 2 million or so weekly active users to any ICM team.
Yeah. Add to the point, because just now at the start we were talking about what's the difference between us and other DEXs, right? I think one keyword is the composability. Composability, because I don't think any other DEXs are focusing on that, allowing projects to easily integrate on top of our liquidity infrastructure, right? Because in order for the Beliefs or Time.fund or all these projects with very innovative and cool ideas like you tokenize condominium, whatever, we need to move all this complexity of the infrastructure integration away from these people, so that they can just focus on creating cool ideas.
The business case,
business case, right? So that to me, that I see that as our core advantage and our job, right? To actually help to push this whole ICM thing forward, right? So they come here, make it super easy, right? You just think about what you feel would be the thing that can move the needle forward for your users. Leave all the messy infrastructure set up to us. Just integrate, and then off you go, right? So we really want to become the engine behind the next wave of token-driven innovation. So that's how I see us differing from the rest, because we have we focus a lot on this, right? Because we really do believe that to move this space forward, it's not just one platform, right? We need to be able to bring all the different minds and all the different projects with really cool ideas and really together, right? And then only together can we push this forward. Yeah.
So this internet capital market is fairly new, I'd say, right? But there was other things before that was kind of a precursor to tokenizing everything, right? Because it all started with meme coins, basically. And then it was I remember talking to me, I was like, celebrity coins, right? And so people kind of tokenizing kind of themselves, not really. A few years ago, some people were talking about social tokens, right? Which is kind of when this meme coin craze started, a year and a half ago. First, it was coins of whatever, dogs or whatever, but then it became coins of people, which instead of having these coins, this social token that maybe I tokenize myself, but some of my revenue will go to all holders. Actually, the whole thing was much simpler. It was like a meme coin, right? And you guys were actually really big into that. So it was what happened before, where you could prove some actual real, the power of Meteora, right? So you were involved in a bunch of huge launches, which is, I think, when people started to know more about Meteora. Probably the first time that people hear the word Meteora a lot was for the launch of Trump coin, because it was the stack, right? It was Meteora, Jupiter, Moonshot at the top. So you powered the biggest launch of the year, Trump, which was a meme coin, basically, Trump coin, that went overnight to an $80 billion market cap. And this happened kind of out of the blue. I mean, for most people. How did you get that Trump launch?
I think I'll start first.
Yep.
So, what's the biggest launch of 2024? So, Trump is the biggest launch of 2025. What's the biggest launch of 2024? It's actually Jupe's launch, Jupiter's token launch. So, in 2024 January, we had already demonstrated the ability to launch a token that would hit $18 billion. Like the highest that Jupe went was 18 billion. So while other AMMs focus on launching many tokens as fast as they can, as many as they can, and seeing one of them pop off to $1 billion, Meteora's technology stack became the best technology stack to do big, large-scale launches, talking about billions of dollars, Trump, and many more coins afterwards. And we built a very strong dominance and reputation to pull that off. So when Trump came about, it's if you were Trump and you had two options, One, which is an option which is an AMM that spits out a coin every 5 seconds and has never done and highest it's done was 2 billion. Or two is Meteora, which is that Jupe did 18 billion and that it went off without a hitch, and that this is probably the better option for you. And since then, we've built up a very strong reputation that I would even say that like we have a monopoly on any launch that's over $1 billion. So Trump, World Liberty Finance, any very, very huge, mind-blowing launch, or the launches that I would say define Solana, pretty much all happen on Meteora. Yeah.
So the other option was that you mentioned is basically Pump.
Yes.
Pumps.
Oops. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to mention names.
I mean, there's not that many in the space anyway.
Yeah.
So
Like, yeah. So we know how to handle scale, which is something
big
that not
ones.
a lot of teams can say on Solana. Yeah.
Yeah, and also projects who are serious about long-term longevity of their tokens and not just pump and dump. I think we have established ourselves as the place to go, right? If they want a coin that can live long, right, and to really add value to the community.
how does that work concretely? If you say, I want my coin to live long, what do you guys do that someone else that is focused on a coin every 5 minutes or 5 seconds doesn't do? What's the difference in the mechanism or in the way to handle the whole thing?
Yeah. So let's just use Trump as an example. Like, we actually didn't know about the Trump launch. At least most of us didn't know. But there are teams of people out there who are very familiar with Meteora's technology, and they are the ones that work with the teams. So for Trump's launch, they deployed a very complicated strategy using Meteora DRMM to launch the Trump token. And you couldn't have replicated this strategy on any other platform to do the same thing, which is what allowed Trump to set up the launch so perfectly that allowed it to reach 80 billion. There's been many like celebrity coin launchers that tried to launch a coin that to do so well, but they couldn't do well because of the constraints of the technology they were using. One of the key features that we provide, which Trump didn't use actually, but something that matters to all of our other partners, is that when you launch a coin with Meteora, you can earn your fees only in USDC, which means that if you launch a project and you need funding, you can receive a stream of USDC funding to do whatever you need to do to build a project without selling a single coin. Because the moment the traders see the developer selling a coin, even if it's 1 token or 1 million tokens, they will get freaked out. But our partners get to access a stream of like USDC or SOL payouts to just keep building. This is actually the main driver of like our ICM partners. So this is how they raise money. This is how they tap into the capital markets. Yeah.
You said we didn't know, or most people didn't know, that Trump would launch a coin. How is that possible?
I didn't know that Trump was going to launch a coin.
I didn't know as well.
Zen didn't know as well.
But how is that possible?
A very
How does it work?
Yeah, it's a very small group of people who have to communicate with the team that is doing it, and so he kept it very low key.
Yeah,
right. Only a very selected group of people know it.
So I think to be exact is that like Meteora is very lucky to have a lot of people out there who loves Meteora's technology and who has knowledge to use it for maximum impact. So Trump worked with a partner that uses Meteora that knows Meteora very well, and they deployed the strategy flawlessly. The only reason why we knew at all for Trump was because they reached out to 2 or 3 people in the team to make sure that someone on our side knew what was happening and would at least be able to make sure that it's more of an insurance policy.
It makes sense.
Yep.
Business-wise, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you want the thing to, it's like you have one shot, right?
Yeah.
So you need to have someone from inside who is involved to make sure the thing works
Yeah.
from A to Z.
Yeah. But it shouldn't need to, right?
But it
Because
shouldn't need to.
Like case in point, the reason easy token launch, right? None of the team was involved in it. So it was completely launched permissionlessly, and then we just saw the news on Twitter and it launched on us, right? So that's it. That's perfect, right? That's exactly what we want to do to make it permissionless. So any project want to launch it, just launch it. Right? There's no need for any intervention from the team or support. Yeah. So it can be done purely on their end, which is exactly what we are striving for.
I'm still trying to understand because there was, I mean, when Trump happened, there was not criticism, right? It was like, fuck, this is insane. Like, wow, these guys pulled it off.
Yep.
The whole stack makes sense. obviously for the next big launch, there is no alternative, right? Like you go for these guys because they fucking pull the biggest launch in history, which I don't even know is going to be another one like that.
The moment, yeah.
Right? So, but there is also some people who can come and say, but if some people know internally, then they can profit or benefit.
Yep.
And that's what I'm trying to understand, because you said before, look, we didn't fuck up our investors. We're trying to do the best thing. Actually, I think Trump was in January, right?
Yeah.
And it was probably just before
Istanbul.
Istanbul, right? But then I recorded a podcast. Then I was talking to Miao, and he was saying we do the thing the right way, like it's so good, etc. And then some shit happened later that we'll talk about. That,
Okay.
But for me, when he was telling me all this stuff, like you can feel the guy, and he's like, we do the thing the right way, right? But obviously, people from outside, they with their bad mouth, and also like it's kind of understandable that they come and say, "Hey, look, if there is 2 people who know, probably 20 people will know, or 30 people because they will tell their friends, all that stuff." So how? And that's the tricky side of this whole conversation is you need someone internally to make sure the thing works. You said we shouldn't, right? And in some other launches, we didn't have that. But at the same time, it's business at the end of the day. You said before, we're not a charity, right? We're not Mother Teresa. We're doing business, and there is competitors who also fight, whether within Solana, but also other chains. For example, for Kanye, there was a CZ going like crazy to try to get them, right? So it means that they need to be, you want to get the deal, right? Because I think the Trump launch was, how much money did you do on the Trump launch?
Volume or fees?
Fees.
20, 30 million.
So that's a lot of money, right? So it's understandable that other people want to get the deal. Yeah. Therefore, it's understandable that because it's capitalism, you will have a team that is going to be doing business development or consulting. That's completely normal. But it's completely contradictory with, we want to do something permissionless that we don't help with, because otherwise you don't do business anymore, or you don't have that, maybe don't get the deal, right? Because the other ones, they will have they will have the team. So how do you handle that?
Yeah.
Like today.
Yeah. The funny part is that actually, like, the other teams that you described, they're doing everything that we are doing, except they are like 6 months or a year behind us. Like we've gone past the stage of having our own team of people that go out and hunt down projects. Today we have like maybe 4 to 5 different teams who really know Meteora's technology and maintain a close relationship with us. And they'll just let us know that something big is happening. I can't tell you what, but just keep your engineers on standby. Or they might not even tell us at all, and they're just so familiar with using the technology that they can work without using it. And ultimately, I think that's the end goal of any team to get there. Like all of our competitors are trying to get there as well. And I can see them hiring similar types of people and stuff, which is quite funny. But right now, it's like if you work with Meteora, you know that the technology works. And with other platforms, you have to take a gamble on the technology, which means you need to even more high touch. You need to be white glove even more than if you work with us. And you also know that because of all of our past experiences, we have so much dark rails in place that if you work with any other AMM, you might not be familiar, you might not be confident in our ability to pull off a launch like that.
Well, you have the track of record, like, and no one has it. That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure.
We have the track record of like multiple successes and a few failures. So we know, so people know like what the success look like and what does like failure look like on Meteora. Yeah.
What's a success? What's a failure?
I think Trump and Kanye West were both like big successes for different reasons. So Trump was a success because we knew about it. Some of our members did know about it, yet it still put off everything almost perfectly, like flawless execution. And Kanye West, which happened like 6 months later, was a success because it showed that all of our hard work of making the technology easier to use and making things less likely to F up bore fruit, because we had no idea what was going on. It worked perfectly, nothing happened at all. Yeah. Despite having so many like so much volume and traction.
Yeah, it is the first time I'm so happy to be ignorant.
Ignorant.
Yeah, I'm so happy that what? Oh, okay, yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So I
perfect.
woke up, I was like, oh my god, Kanye launched a coin. Then I had to check. Then I was like, oh my god, is this really my platform? I was not sure.
Yeah,
Then I
like-
texted him.
It's like no shit, right? It's us, right? It's us,
yeah.
us, right?
I wasn't sure.
So who knew? Who helped him? Because Kanye doesn't fucking have a clue about how to launch a coin.
One of the many teams out there who love our technology worked with Kanye directly, and we had no idea. And our Meteora team itself had no idea. Yeah.
So you made big changes between Trump and Kanye launch because of this LIBRA token launch from the Argentinian president meme coin. That didn't really go as expected. Can you tell us what went wrong and what you changed in Meteora to avoid that kind of situation to happen again?
Me first? Okay.
Yep.
I think the core thing about what went wrong for us was that because Meteora's technology was too difficult to use and still like Meteora's technology is the most advanced. But advanced also means you need skill to use it. So because of that, we had to know about the launch so that we could make sure that the launch didn't go well. And that knowledge of the launch would then be the main reason why we were caught in the crossfire of LIBRA. So when Zen and I came onto Meteora, like making the technology easier to use, more reliable, easier, simpler was a core like tenet. And that resulted in the success of the Kanye coin, where like basically they did the same thing, but it was much easier. And also resulted in all of these new partners that came up. Like when we did it, we didn't know that making it easier will help so many of our partners grow so well. But we only knew that we wanted to make sure that we will never be in the same situation again and that we will never need to know about launch again. So that was a core thing that we did and it has bore fruit. And we're quite happy to see the outcome now. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the key challenges was definitely the process, right? Like I said, a lot of things are pretty like it requires a lot of support, right, from the team. In terms of suggesting how to launch it, like what kind of config to use and all those things. So even the technology was there. It's not very easy for people to understand how to set things up, right? So that's why a lot of involvement is still required, and that puts us in a lot of risk because at the get-go, right, we never know whether there's any back actors that we are supporting. And even though at the end of the day we are just a platform, right? Our argument is that we are a platform. It's like if there's a car accident on the highway, you won't sue the highway, right? But then that's not how the community sees, right? So that is always about perceptions, right? So like what Soju mentioned, right? One of the core things we do is to really see how we can make it as, when you say permissionless, right? So as much as possible, the team has to step back, right? And then allow the technology, allow even like simple, even more clearer documentations, simulations or whatever, right? To help people understand how best to set this up. Like we even have like case studies, right? So if you want to do a Trump launch style thing, you can look at the case study, understand how things are set up, and then you can by and large do it on your own. And then we also make it clear that we don't endorse any teams, right? Our job here is not to endorse anything. We are primarily a technology platform that provides infrastructure for you to launch your token. So by and large, we do not associate ourselves with any, or we don't endorse any tokens or whatever. So that's also one of the key process changes that we made. Yeah, which is important.
So I'm going to make a Web 2 analogy. You might not like it, but
okay, let's do it. Let's come.
No, but for example, you say we're a platform, right?
Yes.
If we take the Microsoft example, they're a platform, they have a technology, and then there's all these Microsoft partners that help businesses implement this technology. They're essentially consulting companies, right? Yeah. You are the platform, like Microsoft would be for software in whatever company, corporates, but to launch a coin or in that case, celebrity coin. Then there is some teams that would be the kind of consultant that are the ones who are in the know, right? So now you're saying we do a permissionless technology, so we don't know anymore what's going to happen. And you talk about the risk before. We had too much risk because we knew, or some people knew. Now we are transferring the risk to these consultants, and they're the ones who are in the know and who will help Trump or word of Liberty Finance or Kanye West to launch the coin, right? So we're transferring the risk to these people who will still know.
Mhm.
So how do you, because now you're transferring the risk, but the problem is still there. It's just not in Meteora anymore. What can you do, or what do you do so that these teams, the consultant, think longer term, don't extract too much, and ultimately, why? Because you want the launch to be a success, because that's what makes the entire industry look good. This Kanye launch is a success, or the world of Liberty Finance is a success, or right. So what can you? Because it's so much money, these freaking launches, and there's so much money that can be made if you have the insider information, that you want to prevent as much as possible this consultant to make more than consulting fees.
Understand. Yeah, I think, I mean, ultimately, our goal wasn't to empower the consultant directly. It wasn't to like go them, bring them in, train them. Our goal is to empower the teams directly itself. So World Liberty Finance is actually a good example. World Liberty Finance didn't use a consulting team. The engineering team inside WLFI themselves deployed the pool and it went perfectly. So I don't think they didn't use a consultant at all. And that is sort of the end goal. We want to reach a level where it becomes so easy that any engineer who has looked at it for like half a day should be able to pull it off seamlessly without these consultants.
But that's because World Liberty Finance is an actual, or is supposed to be an actual crypto protocol, right? But a celebrity or whatever launches in the future I'm a singer, right? I don't have a dev or a dev team that's going to do it for me. I need these consultants. So my question is, what did you put in place after all these learnings to maximize the chances of these tokens launches to be a success, and to minimize the chances of having these consultants that might be, not all of them, but might be short-term driven and snipe or do some things that are not ideal for the project or the token long-term success, right? Because that's what we talked about before. People come to Meteora if they want to have something that lasts.
Correct.
Yeah. On that note, like we did two things. First, we developed a very strong anti-sniping suite that you can deploy for token launches. And that allows you to prevent snipers, even from those who know. But that alone is not enough, because this is a tool that can turn on and off. So the next thing we did was that we made it super transparent to quickly see whether a token has certain restrictions and safeguards in place while you are trading the token. So if you are buying like this celebrity coin, you'll be able to quickly see like whether someone sniped it, whether the anti-sniping suit was turned on, whether like certain guardrails were not in place or were in place, which gives you the confidence to trade the coins. And then we work very closely with all the trading terminals, partners, Jupiter, Radchat, to ensure that the data is correctly like displayed. Yeah.
I think this is a industry-wide challenge, right? It's not it's Meteora. So every time launch is always like, how do we actually protect the users more to prevent extraction? So there are certain things that we can do within our control, but certain things we cannot, right? Like if the consulting team is planning to be a backender and want to extract, there's not much we can do. But as what Soju say, on a product from a product front, we can just put in a few guardrails to warn the user to do their research or to flag certain potential like red flags. Like if this token is held by like only like 3 wallets are holding these tokens, or honeypot, all these things. So we will flag all these things. So recently we have spent a lot of time in making sure that these guardrails are extremely obvious to the users as much as possible, right? But of course, no system is perfect, right? So it's a problem that is constantly being reviewed, and we're trying to look at how to improve it.
So obvious to the user, but where? Is it on the end platform? If I go and I buy on Moonshot, right? Because I go and I want to buy with my Apple Pay, is there like something telling me there where like most of the end users are, hey, be careful, or where is it?
It's on most of the trading interfaces that trade Meteora coins. Moonshot in particular only lets you trade coins if it's verified. So you will only see it if it's already verified, and by the time it's verified, it already passed the smell test. The risk is minimal. Or if you had copied and pasted the CA into Moonshot, you will have copied it from a platform that will have told you the information. Yeah. So that's Moonshot in particular. But for example, Jupiter shows you whether the token is a honeypot, shows you whether the top addresses hold like 80% of supply and stuff like that. Yeah.
But this safety and then protecting users is actually very high on our priority.
It's a constant battle for us to make it better.
Every time we put in a safeguard, something new comes up, and then we need to review and see how we can, cover this scenario.
Of course.
So it's like constant kind
it's
of
like
thing.
It's like athletes doping, right? Like every time you have a new doping product, that then the federation, whatever, who is checking is like, oh shit, now we need to go and develop new research to find, and we're kind of always a bit late because people are kind of smart and game the system, right? It's a big problem. And you said before we have this problem industry-wide, and it makes complete sense because again, Meteora is a business, there is competitors, right? And I was thinking the other day about this anti-sniping technology that you can turn on and off, right? And I'm thinking basically the Meteora side, and I'm thinking they have to do that, the on and off, because if you say we force you to turn it on, it reminds me the Big Short movie where he goes and he says, hey, why are these mortgage subprime AAA? And then she says, because if we don't give, because they pay us, right? And if they don't give us AAA, they just go to Moody's across the road. And so basically, if you force someone to have this anti-sniping technology, they will just go to someone else, right? And so it's the whole kind of thing where short-term driven versus long-term driven, right? And obviously, it makes complete sense. And it's a big challenge because I think most of the people who buy these coins, or I would say more and more, because everything is tokenized. Most of the people who will buy these coins because probably at some point everyone will just buy tokens. They will not know about all this kind of technical stuff.
Yeah.
And so how do you make them aware that, hey, this is safe, this is not that safe? Like it's a mega challenge, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And I think we need to have some empathy also for the teams. Actually, no, because there's been so much kind of earlier this year, like people criticizing all that stuff, but you always need to look at all the side of the story, right? And and this is so important. Is there still a future for meme coin and celebrity coins? Or it's kind of over? And now we're into this internet capital market that is the next iteration of all that stuff.
I think there's still. I think the celebrity coin thing would not die out yet. I think it's still going to be there, right? Because it's a cultural thing, right? It's a cultural thing, right? So I think and it's fun, right? And then so people will still be drawn to that. But our focus is really on moving that focus away from focusing on that and ICM, something that we feel can really impact, right, the space. It will still be there, the celebrity. I mean, we are still there, we support it or not. But then I think most of our attention will be more on like all the ICM stuff, the RWAs, everything that can really bring crypto, right, to more mainstream, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that celebrity coins. We do not have an opinion whether they will keep going or not. I think we have the opinion that like it's figured out. The technology is there. Trump has launched a coin. Even if you don't know what you're doing, just close your eyes and copy Trump, and you'll most likely be fine. Like what gets me out of the bed and gets our team out of the bed every morning is like, how can we push our technology to make it even more special, customizable, dynamic, to unlock new use cases on Meteora, which will then unlock new use cases for people trading things or raising capital for things on Solana. So that's what keeps us going, like pushing the frontier forward. And we don't know what will happen. We don't know whether celebrity coins will use, like, I don't know, maybe a very big celebrity will use our platform to launch like three months from now. We don't know. But we know that we want to push the frontier forward.
Yeah. And I just have this thought, right? Is that the goal is, anyway, I stole this from Mel, by the way. Is that I don't want people to think that Meteora is building a DeFi app, right? So we are actually building a platform to bring the world to DeFi. So if meme coins, celebrity coins can pave the way to do that, sure, right? If ICM is the way to do it, it's sure. So I think ultimately, right, if is whatever that the user sees that can attract them, right, to actually come and experience, right, decentralized finance or whatever, and to see the power of what it brings. Then because it's like a gateway, right? So if there's a gateway to bring them in, then we can have the opportunity to let them understand a little bit more of how this can actually replace what you understand as TradFi, right, and actually impact your financial power and all these things. Yeah. So yeah, that was I stole from Mel. But I mean, bring the world to DeFi thing.
Bring the world to
DeFi thing. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Bring the power of Wall Street to our pocket.
No.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah. Bring the
Everybody
power
likes
of
the Wall Street. Do you like the Wall Street thing? The Wall Street.
Bring the power of Wall Street to our pocket. I mean, this would be more. This would be for a specific audience that would be interested in Wall Street and all that stuff, right?
Okay.
It's kind of like I think. But if you say make DeFi like much more accessible, like this is also DeFi. The word DeFi is also like a bit too technical, I think.
Yeah, I think what I want to do is also like bring opportunities to everybody. I think everybody wants opportunities to do crazy shit, to do better shit, and Meteora ultimately will bring the opportunity to you. Even though if you want to buy a house in Cambodia, if you want to raise money for a new idea, that's what we will do for everyone.
Yeah. Because now people are still, when I speak to my friends, they're still skeptical, right? Because they don't understand it. They're still skeptical. So the challenge is always how to actually bring them and help them to understand that there's a sea of opportunity here, and it's very exciting, right? But of course, be careful, right? Because it's still pretty unregulated.
Meteora is launching a token very soon.
Tomorrow?
You plan to have 47% of the supply out there?
It's 48 now, sorry. Yeah.
48?
48% of supply.
So that's what, 46% airdrop? 2%?
45% airdrop. Yeah.
Why such a high percentage of supply out there directly without any vesting?
Okay, so I think having gone through actually one major launch token launch previously, we see that as a very important step to make the token liquid, right? The community liquid. Because if we do a vesting, then every time there's an unlock, right, we have to handle all the inflation and whatnot, right? So it is extremely challenging, right? So why not just at the get-go in one day, release all the tokens, right, and start from a clean slate, right? So, I mean, to put it bluntly, it's like, okay, if you believe in what we do, right, you believe in our manifesto, you believe in our mission, support us, right, work with us. It's more of a, to me, tokens are always more of an alignment, right? So you believe in us, hold on to our token, right? But if you don't think this is for you, you can leave, right? I mean, it's fine, it's fair game, right? There's no blame, whatever. I mean, it is a free will kind of a place. But what will happen after that is that we know that we are working with a group of people that really want to work with us. And I can really focus the conversation around how do we continue to add value? How do we improve the product? Instead of spending all my time trying to justify value to these people.
Yeah,
right?
who are going to be complaining because, hey, I hold this thing, but why?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So I've been through that, and I feel that this is I believe that this is a better way to do it, and send a clearer signal and message to the people that we are serious about building a very solid community that really wants to work things or really build this up with us. Yeah. So that's the reason why I think this is important. It's risky. Not I don't think it's been done like that before. But
I'm thinking about the Pengu token. Did you help launch Pengu, or it was completely unrelated?
It happened on Meteora,
right?
Permissionless.
Okay.
We didn't quite know. We knew it was coming. Plus, everyone knew it was coming.
Yeah. But it was on Meteora, another big launch, right? But they had this big kind of unlock, right? And then we had this. I mean, it's after Trump, coin and everything crashed and all that stuff, right? But yeah, we see the risk that comes with that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's also because like Meteora because of Meteora we are 5 years now old now. It's like over the past 5 years, many people contributed a lot to get us here. Jupiter DAO, Jupiter helped us a lot, Meteora stakeholders, the LP army, and we don't know, we want everyone to like come together and celebrate the TG together. So we want to turn the community liquid. So that's what we call it. And then we want everybody to choose to be part of the mission or not. Yeah.
You say we want to turn the community liquid. Meteora is not fundraising with TGE. What's the logic of launching a token and not fundraising at the same time?
Yeah, so I think many teams like go down the path of like, oh, let me like do a low flow, high FDV team. Let me invest a lot of people, and then the team does most of the selling at TGE to raise funds to build the project. We're quite a lucky team. We are small and we have enough funding to keep building amazing products for many years, and we're not too worried about that. But along the way, we have like all these stakeholders that we want them to be fully liquid. We want everybody to have full access to the coins without any vesting and stuff. So we chose to do that. So we're not doing a pre-sale. We're not going to sell any tokens. Everything that we're doing will be like market making or centralized exchanges, or like the very cool thing that we did was that usually, especially in Jupe's case, the team put up tokens into the liquidity pool at launch. But for Meteora CGE, we are giving the opportunity to our entire airdrop, all our stakeholders, to be part of the liquidity pool at launch. So the fees that we will have earned from the liquidity pool will go to anyone who chooses to be part of it from the airdrop recipients. And like, we design everything around this idea, and I think it's the first, definitely, to do this, yeah.
So the community can earn the fees of the token launch.
Yeah.
And you told me the other day, because I said, ask what does a successful TG look like? For a lot of tokens or projects, is like, we want to reach this FDV, 1 billion, 5 billion, 10 billion, and then see what happens, right?
Yeah.
You said that you have a different goal.
Yeah, I think for us, like, a successful TG is lots of volume, because lots of volume means lots of fees for the LP army, people who love providing liquidity to earn fees. And lots of volume also signifies that a lot of people are joining the mission, joining our goal of what we want to build. And also a lot of volume means that a lot of old people who might have who were supporters early on, is also taking their chance to be liquid and leave, which is also something that's good to us, because we want them to be able to cash out and cash out their years of hard work as well. So volume is my key North Star.
So you said we don't aim 1 billion FDV, we aim 1 billion in volume. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you maximize volume?
How do you
incentivize or maximize volume for a project that, again, is not that known from the, I would say, average Joe and Jane?
Yeah, so I think like one easy way to maximize volume is unlock more tokens. So more tokens means more volume. So 48% of circulating supply will lead to lots and lots of volume. And two, we have designed a launch strategy that will allow centralized exchanges and the on-chain world, which we reside in, to work hand in hand to drive lots of volume. We are making use of, so it was a difficult decision. We are a team who believes that we can one day replace the centralized exchanges with our technology stack. But for Meteora CGE, we're going to work hand in hand with the centralized exchanges to break out of our bubble, to go out of the bubble of people who know Trump, know Moonshot, know Jupiter, and bring in net new believers in our mission in. And I think that will be a very strong driver of volume as well.
Yeah. So one of the key things for me, at least for TG, is really to expand our reach. Right. So I think I wrote one of my posts is that I'm always very hesitant about TG. Right. I'm very worried about TG because I was also afraid that TG would consume the whole conversation space, right? Because then the technology and product becomes in the back burner. But when I understood that, okay, there's an opportunity for us to really like 10x the community, the LP army, like we're getting different stakeholders to come in, like from the SECs, completely new people who come in, and then when they come in, we need to make it very easy for them to understand what we're trying to do. Right? So that's also one of the key things that we are striving for this TG. So it's not just a token launch, but we also spend a lot of time in making sure that whenever they land on our product, they have the best chance for them to understand the power of it. That's why I love the idea of allowing people to choose positions, right, instead of airdrop. So when they claim their positions, they immediately see, oh fuck, I'm really earning like $300 just like that, right? So powerful, right? So they understand the power of the EAM V2 or the products they're building, right? And like all the jupe stakers and whatnot, they will be able to, those people who are not familiar with Meteora, they will immediately be immediately join, right? And then to see how this thing can really impact them. So to me, that is very powerful. So that's how I see TG, right? As a way to actually expand our reach and to let people who previously don't know about us opportunity to find out and see whether this is for them and to join the entire LP army.
Yeah. In Meteora's Meteora's core power is to help retail make money on chain with fees. And this TGE, we want to expand Meteora by doing an NFT airdrop to the entire Jupiter DAO. So the entire Jupiter DAO is going to come to Meteora, claim this position of the launch pool, and claim ridiculous amounts of fees. And then in their head, they will go, aha, this is what Meteora does. And this is effing amazing. I need to know what the hell is going on. I need to learn what's going on. I need to become a Meteora user. So we are expecting a large influx of users at TGE. And we have built up our systems, our infra, our support structure, our education to welcome them to the community and to build with them.
And Meteora will make no money from these TGE fees. The community will. Or did I not understand that?
We still have the normal protocol fees and stuff that we always make. But usually the team will put up the money and then earn the fees. So in Jupiter's case, the Jupiter team made 10 million in USDC alone from fees. But this TGE, that 10 million will go to the community.
And you can afford to do that because you're 20 people. You told me the other day you make like 100 million in revenue per year. What are you doing with this money? Like, what's the plan?
Continue to build products. And one of the things also to scale up the team. Because we're constantly trying to find good people, good engineers who share the passion and really want to build awesome stuff, right? And those people are not cheap.
I think
those people are not cheap.
those people are not cheap.
Not cheap.
But I think after TGE, we're gonna use the MET token and our reserves to like expand the products, grow the users, and bring more opportunities to people. Like, we are still very far from achieving our end goal. We are very far from achieving our goal of like every retail person on the street can use Meteora to make an extra $500 a day in passive income or whatever. And we're gonna need it to get there. Yeah.
What's the end game for Meteora?
Bring DeFi, bring the world to DeFi.
Bring the world to DeFi.
Yeah. But I that time Shen say is always complain that my vision statement very lame, right? You know? So, but it's really about mainstream, bringing crypto mainstream. It's very cliche. Crypto mainstream. It's very cliche. But I truly believe in that, right? So, in order to take the next step, right, we really need to. I think we are close, right? In order to bridge that gap. But it's not only just making crypto mainstream for traders, right? But builders, communities, projects, right? Anybody who wants to actually build value, create value, right? Whether it's on chain or off chain, right? To be able to do so using Meteora as the infrastructure engine, right? And I think we're getting there, right? So I feel that this next phase is extremely important, especially after TG, when we have a lot of more firepower in terms of a bigger LP army, right? We can do that. So that's my end goal, right? So if you're my mother or my friends who are now skeptical will be like, oh, I mean, I can do this without even knowing that I'm on chain, right? So they are doing certain things without even know they're on chain. So it's so integrated in their lives that crypto is part of their lives without them knowing it. So to me, that's the end game, right?
Thank you so much, Zen and Soju. I think that was very helpful for people to understand first better what you guys are doing, what you guys are trying to do. But also, I think for me, the most important thing is to see that there's good guys. There's good guys. Not everything always goes according to plan and there's some mistakes or some problems. But like the people, I mean, one of the reasons why I'm so close to Meow and the Jupiter team is because I know that these guys are real, right? First, they're here for the long term. Second, they're doing the right thing, or they're trying to do the right thing. And despite sometimes some bad things happening, like what you want to make sure of is like, what's the spirit and mindset of these people? And like, I think today it's kind of fairly clear for people who are going to be watching that, hey, we can trust these guys. They're going to be here for the long term. They're trying their best to do the best, right? And I mean, sometimes the only thing you can do is to do your best, right? And that there is not only bad people or sharks in this space who are successful, but also like some good people who've been here through the ups and downs and through the FTX crash and then pivoting and taking care of their investors from 5 years ago and trying to do the best thing. And I think that's really the most important. That's why one of the things I also try to do on this podcast is separating the signal from the noise. There's so much noise in this industry. There's so many people who are critics without even spending 5 minutes or an hour and a half to watch a podcast and be like, actually, these guys are real guys, right? And so thank you for doing your first podcast ever.
Yes, thank you. It was fun. Thanks.
That was
Fun times.
It was fun.
Awesome. Cool. Good luck for tomorrow.
Yes.
Let's go.
It'll be great. Bullish.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
As you probably know by now, I host some of the biggest names in Bitcoin and crypto on my podcast. But a lot of the best stuff never makes it on air. The Shift newsletter is where I share that raw behind-the-scene alpha, the insights, stories, and lessons straight from my guests that you won't hear anywhere else. If you want the real inside take on Bitcoin and crypto, join my newsletter, The Shift, in the description down below.